Okay, Owl, once more into the abyss we go to see if you can understand what I mean by context. You're not seeming to get it, so maybe you can make a video that shows something similar. Here I am, I'm on a different recipe this time. I'll click print, and I'm not going to even hit any settings. Actually, I think they've removed the settings on this, but whatever. I'll hit print, doesn't matter, it gives it to me in a way that I could print it, and this is my printing context. Boom. Saved recipes, saved web receipts. Now, is this a web receipt? No, but that's something that I might want to do with things that I print. I might want it to go to my downloads. I have that as sort of a catch-all, so I've added that there. Might want to save it to my desktop. Might want to mail it. In fact, let's go ahead. I'll click mail. We've seen mail with custom name. We'll just do mail. I don't really care what the name is. And then I can edit it here if I wanted to. Now, I don't really have any need to edit. We've already seen that, but there we go. Ha ha ha, edit. Isn't that beautiful? And click done. Right there, I can edit it and say, instead of using butter, I use coconut oil or whatever it is I wanted to put there. And then I can even go ahead and save this, or if I wanted to, drag it to the desktop, and I can have that right there. And if we go ahead and preview it, again, context right there, previewing works. I'm in a preview context, so when I click on something, it previews, and it works just great. If I go to a video, it will preview the video. Here's what I'm trying to do. We'll stop that, and we'll show that the context of my menus here is still working. I could still save to PDF. Well, that actually probably wouldn't work here. I think Peter said that that does work on Windows. On mine, I'm pretty sure it doesn't. But encode selected video files, that works. The encode selected video files. We're here if I'm clicking on an image. I still have my preview, but I don't have the encode selected video file. It knows it's not. I'm going to go ahead, before I close this, open with preview is there. That fits the context of an image. My share menu, it's all right here, add to photos. It knows it's a photo. So that's a context that if I clicked on something else here, it's not going to have add to photos because that doesn't fit the context. Again, is this perfect? No, we've seen where this is not always perfect. Things don't always make sense. They're not ideal, but they work fairly well. So, if I right click on this one just to show the ones that aren't perfect, add to deliveries. Would I want to add that folder to deliveries? Probably not. I've tested that. If I do it, it just really gives me a chance to open up the deliveries program and type in what I want. It doesn't really do anything, but I might want to scan it, things like that. So not perfect. We could even come up here to the Finder menu, go to Services, and it will show us some of where it's coming up with this context. It's actually not perfect here, and I'll show you what I mean by that when I say it's not perfect. This right here, we've seen it understands the context that it's a video. Services, and we go ahead and encode selected video files. But if I go to Finder and I say Services, the encode selected video files is just in files and folders. It doesn't break that down and say, oh, I know that's a video. But clicking on something else, this will show us how it breaks it down. That's not listed there, and it will show us how things are broken down. Here it knows it's a picture, so it shows us that, doesn't show us everything. Again, I'm not claiming it's perfect, but works quite well and understands context. So here I am in my email. I could go ahead and address this. I could send this. I'm not going to do that, so I'll just go ahead and close that. I have my share menu here. And this works right here. My share menu here works. It wasn't getting in the way of doing my work. I can do that. I can, if I wanted to, for some reason, how many words are in these directions, I can do my word count, and that will work flawlessly. 72 words in it. There we go. You can go ahead and count, make sure it's correct. I think I have it set not to count one letter word, so it might not count that C right there. But whatever. It's working to show us the number of words right there. And these things are all working at the same time. I'm not turning them on, turning them off to try to make videos to make the Mac look good. These things work all the time. That's the point I'm getting across to you. And when you're doing it, I'm pretty sure that's not happening. You have your panel across the top, which is now cluttered with like 1,000 different icons. You right click on your desktop and you're showing, oh, I can go ahead and get PDF services there, get something sort of similar to what I'm getting right here when I click print in the program. Yes, this is a system service also, but it's showing me a preview of the page. It's in the context of this page. It knows it's dealing with Safari right here. Yes, this comes from the system, but it's working right here within the program. It's part of the system. It's a system tool that the program has access to. As we saw in Chrome, the tool doesn't have to do that. The program doesn't have to use this. This is an option for programs to use. Again, not sure you're really getting these concepts. That, I think, shows most of these things that we've talked about with context. I'm trying to think if there's any I've left out. I think that's a good array of them. Again, with each of these, I can come into here and make changes. I'll go into more right here. And I can go ahead and change those sharing options. Same thing with actions. I only have the markup one, but if I had third-party ones, I could do that. I could change my today view. That's over here, and I don't want to show that in case there's anything personal, and I don't feel like blurring stuff out. But I can go ahead and change those things quite easily. Same thing with my services. I can go into services and say services preferences, and that will open right up. And I can go ahead and turn any of these on or off. And there's a whole lot of them, and it could be a little bit slow. And frankly, I think, yeah, it's pausing on me right here. And here it is. I could go ahead and show those. Whole bunch of them. We've looked at those before. I think the user interface for this actually could be better. I'm not going to say again, Mac's not perfect. I think with this right here, they don't make it as easy to work with as they could. But there we go. We have that. And let's see, I think that's pretty much it. I'm trying to think of where else there could be context right here. This is going to know that it's a URL, and the services will know that that's a URL, so get links and download with SiteSucker are available. My lookup with Urban Dictionary, well, that it doesn't know that that's not just a word, but if I wanted to look up something with with the Urban Dictionary, a semi-suite, I have no idea if that means something in an Urban Dictionary, but let's find out. Ooh, you're semi-sweet. I don't know what that even means, but let's see. Urban Dictionary, no definitions found for it yet. Okay, and that's fine, but if there's a term that I want to look up, I can quickly do that. So this is, again, all of these things are working at once. I think you'll find that if you tried to make a video like this where you're showing all of these things, you would find it much more challenging, or you'd have a lot more clutter. Notice there's no real clutter in here. There's this right here. I could clean this up. I have mail PDF and web receipts are actually in there twice, so it's a little cluttered. And as we saw with some of my right-click stuff here, the services, there's some things that are added that don't need to be. It's not perfectly streamlined, but minimal clutter, focus. Got it? Probably not. But anyway, end of the video.